Today's weather update is brought to you by you. Big thanks for everybody on Patreon who continues to support this channel. If you want to help out, the link is down below. Now let's get into today's update. Typhoon Jenny, also known as Koinu internationally, continues to strengthen off the northeast coast of Luzon. And this is a potent storm system, at least according to Dvorak analysis at this time. I'm seeing this really nearing super typhoon intensity. In fact, looking at those winds, based on Dvorak analysis, upwards about 130, nearly 140 knots. Now, Joint Typhoon Warning Center does have sustained at about 110, so, they still have that intensity up there at this time, but it is a potent storm. Thankfully, according to the forecast, it does look like it could see a little bit of weakening due to some drier inflow and just a bit of shear on its northern flank before coming on shore in the Taiwan. Despite all that, we still have plenty of inflow wrapping it around down towards the south here, impacting the Philippines. Then this is going to come on shore still as a potent storm system. Winds about 150 to 160 kilometers per hour. Heavy rainfall expected across the south coast of Taiwan as it slams into those mountains before this gradually moves towards the west, impacting places across Guangdong and maybe even Hong Kong as well. Remember, they're still recovering from a typhoon just a few weeks ago here. So looking at that forecast as our storm tracks there through the Luzon Strait, Signal Force 2 is in place at this time for the Batanes Islands. Also, you do have those typhoon warnings, of course, in southeast Taiwan. The consensus from Bagasa, JMA, and the Taiwan Bureau, that's CWB, HKO, GTBC, all agree on this track there with that landfall in southeast Taiwan. But don't forget, there is a big range of wind fields on this, and not to mention inflow coming into the south. So you still have those Signal Force 2 warnings in the Batanes Islands and one across parts of Cagayan and Isabela. I wouldn't be surprised if northern coast of Cagayan does get into Signal Force 2 as well as parts of Ilocos. Biggest topic is going to be right here Wednesday. Throughout the day, heavy rainfall in the forecast for southeastern areas of Taiwan. Wouldn't be surprised if we see well over 500, 600 millimeters of rain. That's just a rough estimate based on every time we see a storm of this caliber slam into the mountains there. People that live there, they know what's up, they know what's happening. And really, it's going to be the case. Through the second, heading into the third, over towards the fourth, we also still have that inflow. Now, this is a secondary impact, but heavy rains are expected across the west coast of Visayas and Luzon. So from Metro Manila to Palawan to Pampanga, western areas of Visayas, Batangas, Bataan, Cavite, you're all going to be looking at that rainfall and that inflow wrapping in from the west there. So if you see your location here on this graphic, just keep in mind you're going to be seeing that heavy rain with that river of moisture being indicated right here, while the actual storm's track stays well back towards the north, eventually going into places like Guangdong and over there towards Hong Kong. By midweek, though, as opposed to further towards the west, that inflow and that southwesterly flow is going to break down a bit. So at least by Wednesday to Thursday, you see here, if you are in the Philippines, conditions will be improving. Looking at the broader picture, though, we still have brisk conditions off towards the north on the back side of this as well. So if you are under those cyclone warnings, no matter where you are, know your information from official sources. I am not an official source, friends, but prepare to evacuate and, check and prepare your emergency kits. That's something to be smart to do any time of year, to be quite honest with you, just to be ready for potential storm systems. Anyways, big thanks as well for everybody on Patreon who continues to support this channel. Plus, a few of these graphics today are from Lex at Western Pacific Weather. He does a great job. I want to say a special thanks to you, Lex, for everything that you do. Not to mention also our friends at Metro Weather. These are Metro Weather's Weatherscape graphics. If you ever want to check them out, if you're thinking about, getting into the software side of meteorology here, what we use here, just let me know. Anyways, let's take one more look. I want to show you this cool graphic. This is from the University of Wisconsin. Let's look at the upper level winds. You can see that outflow aloft off towards the north. That's really given these lungs for this storm system to continue to strengthen. But if we click on the shear tendency, there's that shear towards the north too that this is gradually going to be running into, and that is really what's going to be causing the storm system to start to weaken up here as it pulls off there towards the west. But regardless, it is still dealing with that pretty decent inflow coming in from the backside of the storm system from the south and west, and that is of course going to continue to increase that chance of rainfall for the west coast of the Philippines. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions though, and I'll keep you guys posted as much as possible. Number one thing, of course, though, is stay safe out there. Have a great day.